What's up, guys? Man, we got a lot to actually talk about. We got the Grammys, and a lot of people are really responding to the Grammys. And some people are saying, Grammy, you are not fair. Some people are really excited about the whole thing. The likes of Jay-Z has come out to say, you know what? How come Beyonce is most winner of Grammy and has not won Album of the Year? You've been awarding her songs, and you've not awarded her album. I think the statistics is all wrong. That is what Jay-Z is coming out to say. Let's listen to Jay-Z.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
I guess you understand it from that point of view and start living true to yourself, because a lot of people are not really satisfied with the atrocities of Grammy, while some people are really sided with their atrocities. I think we need to understand it from a dynamic point of view. Talking about the Grammys creating African category, we need to watch in between the lines. And a lot of people are coming out with their explanation supporting Grammy, while some other persons are saying we can build our own Grammy. We don't need to succumb to their pressure, because these guys will not really understand our music and our culture. They are all interested in the commercial gains of this particular music and also the commercial gains of this culture. They want to exploit that. We've seen that over the years, but right now some African people that worship them as God sees something from them as superior, while something that comes in from Africa is not always superior. We always agree with them to an extent. I guess some people are now beginning to understand it from that dynamic point. Most Ghanaians, especially some Ghanaian bloggers, are really coming out to say, yes, Grammy is right in all they do, but they don't look ahead, or they are not looking ahead to understand that this can come to haunt them later in life. Just because Nigeria didn't win it now does not mean that Grammy is right in all they do. They've demonstrated a level of partiality, and we have to understand that from a dynamic point of view. I would say a level of ignorance, because they don't really understand African music to an extent, and it's not their fault. They are not Africans, and we have to be allowed to tell our African stories to them. That is what it is right now, and some people are really calling for something dynamic around it. What is your own take about this? I want you to leave that in the comment section. Davido, Burna Boy, Ashake, Lamide, Irasta, these guys are really winners for me. I think getting nominated for Grammy Awards and getting nominated into more than one category is also a win to an extent. That is what I believe. Davido was nominated into categories, though he didn't go home with any, and Burna Boy got 4 categories, he didn't go home with any. A lot of people are getting to understand this at a point of view. I think we need to start living true to ourselves. That is what I believe. And some people are saying that Grammy has not been fair to Africans based on what they witnessed. We should be celebrating Africa more. We should talk about the heritage of Africa. We should talk about the culture and the music, and these things goes together. That is something you need to understand, and we should talk about it in a whole, not in parts. That is what I'm getting right here. Guys, what are your own takes about this story? I want you to leave that in the comment section. Let's talk about African music. How can we move it further? That is what we need to talk about. We should be talking about, coming together in terms of entertainment in Africa to create a whole concept theory for ourselves in terms of exporting our culture, and a whole platform for ourselves also. We need to create a formidable platform so that we can attract these Westerners to want to partner or invest in it. But when they are investing in it, you need to understand that these guys are not coming in with some kind of outright intention. They want to get a lot out of it. That is something we watch, or we should watch in between the lines. I think coming to the Grammys right now, a lot of people are getting to understand that though we actually got kind of nominated and the rest, but it afforded us the opportunity to meet up with our foreign colleagues, and we exchange number. The likes of Ashake and a lot of others did exchange, and that will herald a kind of collaboration between Africans and the Westerns. That is something I get to understand about the whole story that is trending out on social media. We should not see it as a loss. We should see it as a gain, because it gave opportunity to Africans to meet up with their top idols. Do you think we can really export more of Afrobeat if we don't really gatekeep Afrobeat, or if we don't protect Afrobeat to an extent? I think we may lose Afrobeat just like how we lost reggae. That is something you need to understand. Talking about reggae right now is not prominent like those days of Lucky Dube, those days of Bob Marley and a lot of others. Right now, we need to protect Afrobeat to an extent. Fela handed it down to the next generation, and a lot of people are really working ahead protecting Afrobeat. When you talk about Afrobeat, it's music that announces the heritage and culture of Africans to the world, and that is what we need to focus on right now. The likes of Angelique Kidjo, they've done that over the years, and we kind of understand how they evolved over the years. Right now, they are passing it on to the new generation out there. That is one thing we need to understand by this big thing that is happening right here. Can Africa make their own Grammy? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. We can do that if we come together in pure heart. Before I jump off, I want to say thank you guys for watching our videos, and thank you for the love so far. If you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below, the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos. I love you guys. Keep supporting Afrobeat blog across all social media platforms. Nigeria High Commission in South Africa has given out warnings to Nigerians based in South Africa at a point like this. We are picking up some inflammatory statements coming in from a section of people in South Africa against Nigerians living in their country ahead of the semi-final AFCON match between South Africa and Nigeria happening tomorrow. And a lot of people are not really comfortable with this, while some other persons are calling on South African government to take responsive actions on this, or to take proactive actions on this, because it can still escalate into xenophobic attack. Remember the Nations Cup in Egypt in 2019, where AKA actually made a statement after the winning of their country, Bafana Bafana, by Super Eagles of Nigeria at that time. He said a lot of things that, yes, why always Nigeria? That the match between their country and Nigeria at that time was beyond a match, and that is really affecting right now, because some people are digging up the stories and is inflammatory to an extent. A lot of people are making reference to this, and this is capable of escalating into another bout of xenophobic attack on Black Africans in South Africa, especially Nigerians at a time like this, because they are having a match ahead of us. When Thailand won the Grammys, Davido and Burna Boy didn't win the Grammy. We didn't attack any South African institution in Nigeria or any South African in Nigeria. But right now, these guys are really bent on attacking Nigerians in South Africa if we win them tomorrow. South African government, you have a lot of responsibilities on your hands. We remember that at the time, your president came down to Nigeria after the xenophobic attack to apologize to Nigeria for what South Africa did to Nigerians and their businesses in South Africa.